There was a very successful movie and previous to that book not too many years ago called The Perfect Storm, in which this horrendous storm comes about because of several smaller storms that coalesce into one giant catastrophe. I think something like that is developing for industrial civilization as a whole. We have peak oil, we have global climate change, which is becoming just a horrendous catastrophe on the horizon, with the polar ice melting, which is opening huge areas of sea in the polar regions. Without that ice, which normally reflects sunlight, that polar sea is now going to be absorbing a lot more sunlight and therefore heat, and causing kind of a self-reinforcing feedback loop. So it's very possible that global climate change is out of our control at this point, no matter what we do, whether we implement Kyoto or Kyoto on steroids or whatever it is. It's really too late to do much about it. And then global population growth. We've probably already overshot the Earth's long-term carrying capacity for human beings. We passed 6 billion in, I think, 1998 or 1999. Just since then, we've added another 500 million people. So the rate of growth is starting to slow, but we're still adding people every year, something like 80 million people a year. And we're not adding resources to feed all of those people and keep them in the way of life to which they would like to become accustomed. And then producing food for all of those people is a problem because we're running out of arable land and fresh water. So in fact, the per capita rate of food production has been declining for the past several years, even though population is still increasing. So you start adding all of these things together, and how peak oil will further undermine global carrying capacity for the growing population, and how global climate change will do the same thing. And it's not too hard to start coming up with real sort of doomsday scenarios. Now, no one wants to see that happen, but we've really been ignoring these problems for far too long. And if you ignore problems for too long, they come to a crisis stage, and that's what we're looking at.